So let's take this right down.
When I decided to hunt with Chris with BPO Outfitters, I told him what I wanted for a ram. I told him I want to go for a really big one. I've been on several sheep hunts and I wanted to go big this time. Told him I wanted to pass up rams. So he told me to come in on the first hunt early, and we flew up there and to Whitehorse, and then from Whitehorse we took another plane. Landing number one.
Oh, it's a nice day today.
From there we end up having to take another plane about 250 miles up north to BPO's camp. Over here, then around there, over here.
Oh, nice, the little mountain.
And even my kids.
No, I'm joking.
It took us a couple days to get all the way in there, but by the time we got all the way in there, Chris took us in and dropped us off, and then we had to hike from there.
No problem.
We made her.
The first day of hiking, Chris dropped us off at the airstrip. The closest he could get to the mountain was about 4 miles to the start of the mountain, and he said there was some rams cleared the backside. He thought it would be about 5 miles. He was lying to me. The hike was gradual, wasn't bad. We were above tree line, so that helped a lot. When you're into the timber, it's pretty bad. But we got out of that timber, and it was good. It was pretty easy hiking. Seen a couple caribou on the way, crossed a lot of rivers.
We're gonna make camp right here for tonight. What is it, about 10? About 10 o'clock, we started hiking around 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Probably gone about 10 miles.
Huh?
Probably gone about
12, 11,
12 miles or so.
Making some bacon, some ham and eggs with red peppers, red and green peppers. It'll be awesome. Then tear down camp, go another 10 miles, see if we can find some sheep.
Found him. Finally come out. He was with the other little ram. Gave us a pretty good look for quite a while. Went over the top, but made my decision. We're gonna let him go. We're gonna go look for a bigger ram. Could be a bad decision. We got a whole day out of here. We probably got, if they can't pick us up at where he's thinking there might be a gravel bar down there, about 7 miles. We've got about 25 miles to cover to get out. We'll be all day. End up having to cross multiple rivers. And the river got bigger and bigger when we got down because more rivers kept coming into it.
There's a full boot or two.
Well, we got no choice. We've been crossing the river all day, but it's getting big now. We've had a couple more come in it. We got to get across, see if we can find a horse trail on this side. See, when you're packing a full pack with 65 pounds in it, and you're crossing rivers and it's slick, it gets pretty nasty. Oh. The river got bigger and bigger, and we end up finally, right about 10 o'clock, we hit the big river down the bottom. Basically, we hiked all day that day again. Still don't know where we can find an airstrip to get us out of here. We're 2 drainages over, big drainages over from where we got dropped. We're probably round tripping probably 45, 50 miles from there since what we started walking. Only day 2 to another walk. Trying to find a place to camp tonight, and then we're gonna try to find a landing strip somewhere on this big river tomorrow, somewhere maybe 5 or 10 miles down here we'll find something. All right, day 3, heading out, looking for an airstrip, find our way out of this hole, go find us another sheep, try to kill this one. Got up in the morning, walked a couple more miles down the river, and found a place we thought we could make a little airstrip. Called Chris in, and he come in and picked us up and flew us back to base camp for a lunch. And then he sent us out for the other area. Heading for a new area. Downriver about 15 miles, and we got about another 10 or 15 miles hike in tonight. We jumped on a jet boat, and he took us down the river about 25, 30 miles, and found a place to pull in the back channel, and we started hiking from there. We had 7 miles of moose bogs, and when I told Chris that first hike was quite a long hike to look for 3 sheep, 3 rams, and there was no other sheep on these mountains, and he knew it. He said, well, that's nothing compared to where you're going now. Covering some ground today. Feet are numb. Tough day. Tough day again. We haven't even went up the mountain yet, and we're freaking already done.
How did that little jaunt make you feel?
Tired and sore.
Is there anything you want to tell Chris right now?
There's a few things we want to tell Chris right now.
No, not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Whoever said we wanted to be sheep hungry. Tearing down camp in the morning, making breakfast, getting ready to head up the mountain. What do you think there, Captain? Tired. We've been going since, what time did we leave this morning?
I think we left around 7:30.
7:30.
No, 45.
2:25?
45.
2:45. We got up to where we got into the really pretty sheep country. It was the prettiest country I've ever been in for sheep. And right off the bat, we found the lick and found rams on it. There was probably 50 sheep on these licks. There's 3 great big strips of cliffs. We dropped our bag, set up camp, and went up light, and we hiked up and got to where we were about 800 yards from them. Took a pretty good look at them. And there was a couple of really nice rams on them. One was really broke down low, but he was an old 13-year-old ram. And then the other one was broomed, short on one side, but he was another 13-year-old ram. Took a pretty good look at him. Decided not to shoot the broomed ram that day. Wanted to see what might come in, and it paid off.
Hey, I'm Mike Davidson with Gunwerks. We're out here in the Badlands behind our shooting range, and we're gonna film a kind of a tough shooting scenario for you. Today we've got a lot of wind, it's really cold, and what we're going to do is time whether using the reticle in our G7 scope is faster than actually dialing our turret. Now our target's not very far, it's 450 yards, which is past my point blank range. That means, you know, out to 400 yards, pretty much with our calibers, you can still hold on the animal. But past that, I think this target we've got is right at 460 yards. Past that, you're either going to have to hold over the animal or you're going to have to dial to the animal. And so we're going to time which one's faster. Is it faster just to pull up, use the reticle, and shoot? Or is it going to be faster to dial for that precision shot? Now my theory is that in some situations, you know, out to 500 yards, it's going to be faster just to use the reticle. But we're gonna try it out and see. Hopefully we can hit this piece of steel. I'm just gonna sit down, use some shooting sticks. I've got one of our Coyote model rifles, our LR1000. It's chambered in a 6mm XC, so it's great for hunting coyotes, whitetail, low recoil. So that's what we're gonna use today on this shot. So what I've got is my shooting sticks. We're just gonna walk around the corner, pretend like we see this deer over there, 462 yards. I'm gonna pull up, I'm gonna range it, sit down and shoot it. I'm gonna use the reticle first, then we'll do it over with the dial and see which one's faster. That took a little longer than I thought. This wind's making me pretty unsteady, but I think what we'll do is we'll just try it again. Use same conditions with the wind and stuff. This time we'll just dial. We'll back up, walk in, set up again, try it over, see which one's fastest. We did it once using the reticle. Kind of moved into position, took a range, used the reticle to hold over, hit that target. We're gonna walk in the same way, get a range, and then dial this time, and then we'll go back in time and see which one's faster. Here, let's go. Now to me, it seemed like dialing for the distance took just as long, or maybe a hair longer than using the reticle. I think what we're going to do is we'll go back, we'll put the footage on the computer, we'll run through it, and we'll see which one was actually the fastest. And we can wrap that up there in the shop. The cool thing about this G7 scope is it's got the reticle and it's got the dial, so you can do both. For fast shots, when you don't have time to dial, I don't know. I'm up in the air. Which one was fastest? I guess we'll find out in just a minute. Hey, we made it back in the shop. Looks like Brian's got this cut out and put together. And using the time code off the footage, it looks like we've started measuring the time the second I touch the rangefinder to the bullet's impact on the target. So let's take a peek and see which one was quicker. Looks like using the reticle, I beat my turret time by a second and almost 3/4. Watching the footage here, I didn't realize it while I was out there, but I didn't even have my gun loaded on that first go around on the reticle. So I had to grab a cartridge out of my pants pocket, put it in my gun, and I still beat my turret time by a second and 3/4. So I think I could even do that a little faster. This was one of the toughest shots I've had to make this year. We've had about a 10-15 mile an hour wind, and just on those shooting sticks, no rear support. It was actually hard to stay on the steel plate. So I think this time could even be a little shorter if the conditions were right. But given this footage and this test, it looks like I can shoot just a little bit quicker using the reticle. Out to 500 yards, I think it's a good, safe alternative. We can match those reticles up to your cartridge speed. But I think if I get out further than that, out past 500, I'm going to take the time to sit down and dial and make that precision shot on that animal. So, looks like the reticle wins on this one.
The wind was just howling, 35 miles an hour, pretty much steady. I'd put my wind meter out there and it'd go 35 and then it'd go down to 3 and then it'd gust right back up to 35. Really wanted to kill this ram at 800 yards. And he was right on 800 and he was bedded at times and he was standing up broadside at times, and the wind would stop and I'd dry fire on him, and I just didn't feel comfortable with the wind. It just was too hard. It was too big of a chance. I didn't know what the wind was doing there because we had no vegetation. Decided if the wind had stopped, I would take him, but the wind never, it was just getting worse. So we decided to back off, hike back down a little bit and come around, go up, clear up over the top of them and set up on the top and wait for them to make a move from there.
The big broomed ram that we've been watching, we watched him yesterday. Probably would have shot him yesterday. Finally just come out, gave us all kinds of chances, about 200 to 300 yards at a time. Well, he's tempting as a big ram. We think this other one's bigger though. He's got to be getting pretty quick here. They're all starting to move a little now. 7 o'clock. We've been sitting here for 5 hours now.
Okay, I see chocolate. Is there chocolate?
Yeah.
He's just coming up. Up to the top of the first cliff. Got him.
Hit. He's going down.
Nice.
Holy that was awesome.
What's this?
That's the ram horn.
What are you doing?
Oh my gosh. At least 12 and a half. 37 and a half.
What?
Underjudging, I like it.
Wow.
Shooting my brand new gun from Gunwerks. 6.5 284 carbon barrel, titanium action. It's actually the very first one they made with the titanium action and sold. And he did her job. Shot him right through the heart. Would have liked to put it to the test at long range, but we already know she works at that. So we know it puts them down at not so long range. It was awesome. Perfect day. Gun worked great. Guides worked great. And now we just need somebody to come helicopter this thing out of here and we'll be golden.
Hunting apparel for long-range pursuit provided by Sitka and Kinatrek Boots of Montana. License applications made through Cabela's Tags. Brought to you by Gunwerks, G7 Optics, Night Force, Hornady, and Caldwell Shooting Supplies.